love?
No, because I want to talk about Galaxy Quest, and that movie is not problematic.
It has Tim Allen in it, so...
Yeah, but he's an asshole.
He's
just playing himself.
In real life, too. Are we talking about in the movie?
Yeah, he's just playing himself.
He was coked up on that movie.
My man.
My man's Tim is stanced up. All right, let's
bring it to it. Hello and welcome to the YASEcast. This is episode number 47. I am Nick. I know Jarv was surprised. We're at number 47, which is wild to think about. Which means, hey, by the way, Jarv is here tonight.
Hey, we've come a long way, baby. How y'all doing?
Come a very long way. It's I mean, even last episode, we were kind of talking about how crazy it is that like how long this has gone and how many episodes we put out, stuff like that. And it's every time I look at it, it still is like, wow, like it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, and some of them are even very good.
Yeah,
some of them.
Maybe even this one will be.
I know this one's gonna be.
Who knows? We're gonna see where the night takes us. And you heard her. She's here. We got Morgan with us tonight too.
Yeah, it's me. What's good?
Yeah, it's me. What's up? I thought you were gonna get like real aggressive for a second. And I was like, hell yeah, Morgan. Let them fucking know. Let them fucking know.
I got the podcast equivalent of resting bitch face.
Resting pod voice.
RPV.
It is so good to be back. So good to not have any work trips lined up for the nearish future.
Yeah, you've been on the road. You've been road warrioring it.
I've been road tripping.
Now you're just local man.
Which is funny because at work today, my boss was like, "Hey, so I have to go down to this other city 5 hours away to try and sell them on the security system thing that you helped set up and configure. Is like, do you want to come with?" And I was like, "Gonna be honest, I don't."
It's gonna be a no from me, boss.
No can do, boss man.
Gonna be real honest, but I was hoping to go 1 week without having to take a 5 hour trip, so gonna pass. And he was like, "That's
I'd like
cool.
to stay in the zip code, my man."
So yeah, that's been a thing. Enjoying not having to go anywhere and enjoying sitting on my butt for a while.
Well, what you been doing on that butt, man? I mean, if you've been sitting at home or
that's,
not having
that's
to go
for the
anywhere.
OnlyFans, let me tell you.
Whoa, that's
spicy.
You heard it here first. Look for the official. I thought we were holding off on that announcement, but look forward to the official Yase OnlyFans account.
I got really excited and I started dancing just now because I did remember something that happened today.
Ooh.
Something came in the mail, which I've been waiting for. My copy of Lost Odyssey finally came in today.
Oh, yay!
And I am very excited to start playing it because it seems like it had gotten lost in the mail. Like there was like it's out for delivery as of last week. And then it never showed up, obviously. And then it was like, oh yeah, well I checked the tracking. It just says like out for departure, awaiting arrival scan. I was like, yeah, okay. But then the guy sent me the tracking and I was like, all right, you did everything you were supposed to do here. So I got it in today, open it up. Usually when things are wrapped, you expect like bubble wrap or like some kind of
bags.
Normal. Yeah, that's right. I forgot I told that story last time. You don't expect shit to be wrapped in Olive Garden bags. But this one, I want to say it one-upped it because I wasn't expecting it, but it was also a better packing job than just putting it in a fucking Olive Garden bag. They had like this like metal mesh that was like folded up and around it, and I was like, this is weird as shit, but it's definitely like suspended in the center, so ain't nobody getting to my copy of Lost Odyssey except me, I guess.
All right.
Very nice.
That's how you want it.
Popped that shit in. Shit's installing right now. I will be playing that.
So would you say you've gone through your own Lost Odyssey here?
Because you thought it was lost.
And now it is found.
I'll give it to you. I don't want it. Sure. Let's go with it. I'm tired today. I'm just going to, yeah, it's fine. Sure.
Yeah, okay. I got you.
You know, Mark, if that makes you happy, if that sparks joy, let's rock with it.
I feel hurt.
No, don't.
This is a I promise I have better material.
But yeah, that's what's been kind of going on with me. I did watch a really good movie over the weekend, but I think we're gonna have some movie talk lined up for later. So I'm gonna hold that one close to my chest right now.
I feel it.
Yeah, Jarv, what have you been up to?
Oh, what have I been up to? Not a whole lot. I don't know. I've been doing like the homeowner life kind of crap. I'm grill pilled on my own home, which is, well, I guess I'm not really grill pilled. I don't have a grill. Sorry, y'all. But like homeowner pilled. I don't know. There's always crap to do. I bought a lawnmower finally because the kid down the street who mowed my lawn for $30 a mow moved. So I'm like, shit, I gotta mow my own lawn. And I was looking out there, and it kind of looked like the Safari Zone, where like, you know, you take like 2 steps and a Chansey's like right there coming at you, and you got to throw an apple at it or a rock or whatever. Yeah, so I had to mow my lawn, and that was fun. It made me feel like a homeowner. And then I drank a beer afterwards. It felt great.
Big home life.
Yeah, big home life. I got a pressure washer too.
Well, that's big home life.
Yeah, there we go. That's the big boys, big toys.
Pressure washers are fun.
Yeah, I got to pressure wash my back patio because we would like to get it screened in, because a screened in patio in Florida is legit. It's super nice.
Having had one in Florida, yes, it is.
Yeah, I want to get the cats out there. I want them to hang out. I want them to not scratch up the fencing or the screened in part, but I do want to get a little tree out there for them. It's like I'm weirdly more happy about them being out there than me being out there. I don't know. I'm just.
Well, you get to be out there with them. I did. Back when I had cats and lived in Florida and had a screened-in patio, I just put a hammock out there, and I would just hang out there with the cats, and like every now and then they would like hop up in the hammock with me and fall asleep on my chest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm soy facing right now. It's so cute. I love it.
I want that for you.
I went to the gym recently, which was cool. So I'm like fully vaccinated, and I know I got this whole like garage gym thing going on. If y'all peep my Instagram or my Twitter, you could probably see it. But my trainer is I've grown to, you know, be friends with him, and he's got a lot of crap that I don't have. So I'm like, I'm come in one day a week, use some stuff that you have that I don't, get some personal training, get some tips and tricks there. And would you write some programming for my garage? And he was like, yeah, I got you, man. Absolutely. And I have never worked harder in my own garage with his programming. So again, you can like double stamp that Jarv Swolls Out bingo stamp.
Hell yeah.
At the end of the year for sure. And it was nice to like see people in real life that weren't my fucking coworkers or just like, you know, Heather or my family. It was like, whoa, other people that like I normally never see. What's good? It's like, you know, we're getting towards the end of that tunnel here in America in some places, and it felt really cool just to like hang out with people again. Yeah. I saw the arcade right next door, literally right next door, Flipping Great Pinball, Tallahassee, Florida. Shout outs to Adam. And I was just like, damn, I wish all my friends were in there playing some fighting games right now and I could go over. Maybe someday we'll come back to that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would really like to do that because I don't know, I've been playing a little bit of Street Fighter V lately because Rhett and Velius, you know, the homies, the Yase homies have been on that grind with their Roses and Colleen's and all sorts of crap. And, you know, friend of the pod, Kara, they've been grinding out too with Ryu and Seth and a couple other people. And I'm like, you know, people be playing this game a little bit now. I'm like, let me get back in there, but not with Fong. Sorry, Fong, I love you. I'm probably still going to pick you sometimes because I'm like, I know you the best, but like, I got to pick someone else. He's been big struggle since day one.
That's self-care.
Yeah,
not self-care. Don't pick a top tier. Or don't pick a bottom tier. Pick top tier.
Pick a bottom tier. Don't pick a tier that in order to do like good combos, you have to do like jab, micro walk, jab combos into stand fierce.
Don't pick low main. Just pick top tier.
Pick a top tier.
Pick a top tier.
I thought you said don't pick low main. I'm like, what low main ever do to you?
Low main is great.
No, pick the low main. Pick the seafood low main is always good. It's good everywhere. Just pick the low main.
Pick the low main. Don't main the low.
Yes.
So now I play a Coomer.
A boomer.
Rough. That was a rough one.
Yeah, it was a little rough. Whatever, but rough like you gonna feel after you get in the ring with my boomer.
All right, I gotta say, let's go right now. Let's go right now.
Audience, I was in the lab while we were warming up, so I'm already warmed up.
Oh,
I'm stanced up. I'm fully vaxxed. I will knock your ass out, Playboy.
Damn.
yeah. I'm not sort of picking a top tier. So, like, dear listeners, you all know that I used to play a game called Street Fighter 4. I used to play a character called Blanca. And while living in Florida, there were 2 people in my town, one of which you probably know as Brian F. now. Yeah. And also the person who taught Brian F. how to play, at least JC. And there was at one point where JC just directly asked me, like, why would you ever pick a character that you think puts you at a disadvantage? And it really radically changed the way that I think about fighting games. And particularly, like, we're going into Guilty Gear and stuff. I was just like, I think Potemkin is cool. I'm not going to pick Potemkin because I genuinely think that it puts me in a bad spot. So, yeah, it's self-care to avoid low tiers. It's mindfulness.
I think you have to vibe so hard with a character's playstyle and, like, tools or specific defensive options or something unique to them that you're like, I will go in here with, 1 foot step back and you will come at me, sort of on the offensive already, but I have so much knowledge and heart of the cards and this and that I can do. I don't think that exists for everyone. I don't think everyone has that character. I don't think everyone is playing their game with that character at this current moment in time. So if you don't already know that you're in that situation, if you have to ask, the answer is no, which means go find someone who's like easy and good and like at least like see the game from their perspective for a little bit if you think you're in that position, because you might come to find, oh, actually I'm not. Damn, I've been handicapping myself this whole time.
Yeah, that's the unfortunately most people are not FAB.
Yep. Exactly.
So it's like, exactly like you said, there are people on this planet that vibe so hard with the character that they do loop around and can compensate for the character, but like odds are it's not you.
Yeah. Yeah. You would already know if it's you because someone has already told you that, or like people are looking up you on YouTube to see how to play that character.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your guys' favorite example of like, I don't want to say the low tier hero, but like of a character specialist or someone who is, hey, they play the same character in every iteration of this game nearly, and they're known for kind of overcoming weaknesses or like bad matchups. Yeah, because I think my pick for that would be Kusumondo in Super Turbo, an Honda player who just makes that character look so much better than they are, I feel like.
Yeah. I think ST is definitely a game that has that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. In a game with such high highs and low lows.
Some matches are just fucking misery. Like one of Honda's worst matchups in that game is against DJ. Mm-hmm. And there's a really, really, really great set that Kusumoto plays at Evo ST. I think it was there is a revival. There's a special name associated with it, but I can't remember it off the hand. And his winners finals match was against Afro Legends DJ, and he makes it look like this is trivial.
Like it's not a fucking 2-8 matchup.
Yeah. Which it honestly feels like. And most people agree, like, oh yeah, this is by far Honda's worst matchup, and he just makes it look like it's like, no, I'm going to get in once, and then he's dead, and that's it.
Yeah, I forget if it's like 7-3 or 8-2 for DJ. It's something stupid.
Who cares? It's something where it's something where it's clearly not good for Honda. And yeah, he just makes it look simple. And it's like the same thing like watching with oh my god, the guy you were just talking about, FAB. Yes. With FAB, where it's just like imagine watching him playing Pot and like Vanilla Accent Core, where like Pot was just like stupid good.
Do you know?
Imagine how just batshit crazy that would be, because he's.
Do you know the lore behind that particularly? In the Assassination Squad.
Wait, what was that?
Do you know about the Assassination Squad?
Wasn't that a team of players who were working up to try and beat FAV? Yeah, which is so. I love that had to exist. Like that's such a cool moment of like Guilty Gear like player lore that can easily kind of get lost in the mix. Like it's not something that you're going to see in game. It's not something that is like a super. It's not the Daiko parry, right? It's not going to get like talked about from generation to generation. I feel like,
Whenever they go to Evo, they all wear they had like jackets made.
Oh my god!
They all have like bomber jackets. They have like it's like Bokumetsu. It's like something. It basically is the assassination squad. And if
that's so sick.
When players in ArcSys games, when they play in arcades, they have their pass, right? And when they step up, you can see their name. And Kazuki, probably pound for pound, like top 1, top 2 Dizzy players. Also, like very long time friend of FAB. His like thing on his card is destroy FAB.
I've seen that. Oh, that's like, so sick.
The assassination squad is far and away my favorite part of Guilty Gear lore, where like the stars aligned and Potemkin was the best character in the game, or at least very close to being the best character in the game. And people in the arcades got together to specifically be like, we need to get strong so we can keep this one person from winning everything. And that's just lasted for like a decade.
People talk about in-game lore and like want to know what's going on with the characters in the game, but that shit is nowhere near as interesting and as hype as the out-of-game lore. Goddamn.
And that's a scene that has good out-of-game lore too.
My favorite is Omito won Evo and then became a bunny girl VTuber.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you did.
I want to say it was like the first year that Evo was having Sign. Exard Sign, and there was an interview. I don't know if it was an interview or if it was just like someone having a conversation with oh my god, with Goichi. I think I'm blanking on the name, but like famous like Zato player, like Japanese Zato player. I think he won. Yes, and he was saying, they were saying like, oh, like, are you planning to go to Evo this year? And he's like, no, of course not. There's no point in me going. He's like, I have nothing to prove. If I go, I'm just going to win. Which is the sickest thing, because it's not even like, yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to win. He's like, no, like everyone knows I'm the best. There's no point in me going. Like I have nothing to prove.
Truly nothing to prove.
Which is so sick. And then he went and he won.
Gotta isn't probably all-time Evo highlight, since Evo doesn't exist anymore, really.
Yeah.
Evo. Never ended up on ESPN. My other fun, I would think, now we're on like a player lore story, speaking of Ogawa. Remember when Daigo did those first to whatever sets? And there was like a very hyped up one. It was between Ogawa and Machabo. So previously, Machabo had quit Xrd because after he won Evo, he didn't get picked up for big sponsors or anything like that. He was just like, I won, I was the best in the world, and I felt empty. There was nothing for me there. So he quit to be a Street Fighter V player. And so they were hyping up this rivalry because in contrast, you had Ogawa, who, like you said, was just like, I just love this game. And he was sort of placing himself, hyping up as, I am the true Guilty Gear player. I love this game. I love this franchise. I feel like I have to defend that from this. And he ended up winning that set as well at a time when Zato versus Sin was a very bad matchup.
Fighting games are good.
Fighting games are great. Fighting game players can be great. There's just something about...
Can be.
Can be. Emphasis on can be. But there is something about... There's this James Chen and Seth Killian, that one year at Evo, it's like you just put people in this room and you give them this one culmination moment of 10 plus years of their experience with the franchise, and great things happen out of that, and also terrible things that can happen out of that.
Yeah.
I think I was trying to find it real quick, and I couldn't really find any information on it. Maybe you have some, Morgan. Ron was telling me about I think my favorite piece of Guilty Gear player lore is the Venom player Enotoko, where they did like Enotoko versus the world. They had like a 3-on-3 tournament where Enotoko was just one person on the team, and he was just like a single team. And they had a bunch of other teams of 3 try to like compete in this tournament and beat him. I think he ended up placing second. But
that's
like
ridiculous.
He fucking like just whooped everyone except for one team.
Did he play 3 times for his team, or was it like
just one?
He had
one
to OCV.
Yeah, he had to OCV everyone.
That's so
This is unfair in a team tournament.
That's so godlike.
That's really fun.
How good he is.
Damn. All right.
That's so sick.
there's all kinds of lore, especially around Guilty Gear with stuff like that. Like, even back in, I want to say it was either Accent Core or Plus R, like, Sato, the Johnny player. I'm probably thinking of, like, maybe Sato? It's been years since I thought about this story. But just doing kind of similar stuff of people entering team tournaments by themselves and just winning. Because they were just that much better than everybody else.
I believe it was Sato.
It's so badass.
Yeah. And then Sato quit playing around when Sign came out because he didn't like it. And then when they added Johnny in Revelator, he played Johnny for a bit and he said Johnny is too good and quit to go play Koihime.
I do remember hearing about that. Oh my god. I wonder what it would be like to be Sato and like show up to that fucking Loke test where Jam and Johnny were like big mega busted and just like, what'd they do to my boy?
They made him too good. Oh, good times. Good times.
Hey, speaking of good times, I think, Morgan, you had a good time last weekend, huh?
I had a wonderful time last weekend. I went camping for the first time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was my former co-host, actually, and esteemed, beautiful, wonderful, incredible, amazing partner. Julie Worthy is a big avid camper person, and it's not something we've really been able to do because of COVID during last camping season. So she floated and it's like, let's go camping. Let's try this. And so I was like, all right, we'll do it. And so we loaded up the car and the dog and we drove about an hour out of the city to a campsite and just did like car camping where it's sort of it's like a luxury camping kind of thing where it's sort of a sectioned off. It's almost kind of like, not so much a country club, but there's like boat rentals and a lake and a campsite and a camp store and bathrooms and everything like that. So it was like, you were generally
not primitive camping.
Yeah, but it was like, you set up a tent, you sleep in a tent, but there's a fire pit and a bench at your site. And so like some things are taken care of. And it was nice. It was incredible. It was really genuinely incredible to be able to go out and, my experience up until that point was setting up the tent in my parents' backyard and then just not sleeping in it because it got spooky at night. So being out there, and it's really incredible. I threw my phone in the car and I just left it there over the weekend, which was also a very, very sorely needed thing to just kind of get out there. And I was telling Jarv we were warming up. Once it got like situated and everything was good, I was very anxious beforehand. I was like, I never had done this before. I know this is very important to my partner. I want this to be a good time for us. But then I realized like I didn't know what time it was and it didn't matter. And then once we had the fire going and everything, I just sat next to it and I borrowed this book that she's been reading called How to Do Nothing, Resisting the Attention Economy, which is all about the way that our lives have been sort of gamified and everything is attached to metrics in these ways that are very insidious and sometimes we don't recognize. And so being able to get into that space and then read that book was really, really good for me because I recognized that I was very close to burning out on the content creation life. We didn't record last week, but the weekend prior, my cool friend did a entire the VTuber debut stream, which was a lot of work I've heard from her to put together, and it was a lot of fun, but at the same time that particular area of streaming and content creation is highly gamified, super metric driven, and for someone like my cooler friend who is an academic as well, and a lot of those same metrics exist there, it's a very fast way to burn out, to be like trying to make number go bigger, looking over trends, criticizing what you're doing, always feeling like you should be doing something more or whatever you're doing is wrong. So it was really nice to get out there. And then I got back to the bad zone after like 48 hours. But those 48 hours were pretty nice.
Got to use that time to like recharge the battery.
Yeah. Highly recommend walking out into the woods and leaving your phone. As long as you're with somebody else who also has a phone, so you can be safe.
Good call.
Yeah.
But Nick, have you done any camping?
Yeah.
I went camping once. You're probably thinking, well, how did it go? And you probably know how it went if I only went camping once. So there was a very bad thunderstorm on the first night, and our tent got completely flooded. And so all our clothes were wet, and it was just like raining like the rest of that like long weekend. So we never really got a chance to like fully dry stuff out. It was not a good time.
Sorry to hear.
It's all good. I don't want to go camping again. I'll stay in a cabin. I'll do that cabin life.
Cabin life is
sounds like fun.
Yeah, get a nice, comfy, cozy cabin. Get a little fireplace going. Ooh, love
Maybe
it.
a fire pit.
Yeah, we can do an outdoor fire pit as long as I'm not spending the night outside. I'm fine with that.
Margaret, do you cook anything good?
Yeah, we didn't do a lot of cooking. I brought out some nice whole grain mustard and some sweet relish. We made some vegan hot dogs over the fire.
Yeah, yum.
Hell yeah.
Which was real good. And then made s'mores, the classic camp fare.
Classic.
Just wonderful. And then the next morning, I made the fire because I am a true prodigy of camping and was able to make a fire on my own. Woo! It's me doing magic hands. You can't see that because it's a podcast. But yeah, and then the next morning we made oatmeal, which took forever to boil water, but we just kind of like sat there and did what we needed to do, dumped it in there. It took forever. It was beautiful in the morning. It was like warm, but like not too warm. So we got the blankets and we're sitting by the fire waiting for our water to boil to make oatmeal, talking about how pretty each other are. And she made instant coffee and was sleepy, and so she kind of just eyeballed it. And it was incredibly bitter, so she just like put a bunch of honey in it, but it didn't help, so it was just like simultaneously very sweet and very bitter. And it was the best cup of coffee I've ever had. Like to sit there like under a blanket with my partner who I love, and on our first little camping trip, and that cup of coffee hits you in a certain spot, and when it hits you, it will hit, and every other time it will be terrible.
Oh yeah. Oh, to drink coffee while sitting on a log with my significant other.
It's a beautiful moment. Everyone should have that.
Truly the dream.
That was the Rainbow Connection. I found it. I found the Rainbow Connection. It was gay the whole time.
I couldn't tell with the whole rainbow part.
What a concept. What a time to be alive.
Yeah. In this year, 2021. So can we segue into a different subject here? Maybe our main concept, our main bit. Because I rewatched and I revisited a movie when we got back. So we came back Sunday morning. We were super tired. So we ordered to-go Tex-Mex and margaritas and sank into the couch. And we watched Galaxy Quest, which is a spoof on Star Trek from I want to say the 1990s, if not early 2000s, like very early 2000s.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And it is a way better movie than I remember. And that's not very often that I revisit movies from that period where I'm like, yeah, that aged well. The general premise is the main cast is Tim Allen, Alan Rickman, Tony Shalhoub, and Sigourney Weaver. I forgot Tony Shalhoub and Sigourney Weaver were in there. Sigourney Weaver is incredible as a blonde. Hell yeah. So the premise is that they are washed up actors that played on what it was basically this universe's equivalent of Star Trek. They are at a convention. They're signing autographs. Tim Allen's character is the former captain of the show and a huge cock. He's completely full of himself, treats the rest of the cast like basically stooges, stands them up for events and everything. Fast forward, it turns out that their show has been going through space in the form of radio waves. These aliens have picked up on it, and they think, because they don't have the concept of lying or acting, believe that the show is 100% real and kidnap the actors to helm their one-to-one replica of the ship from their show to protect them or lead negotiations against this evil genocidal warlord who is killing their people. And it's a good movie. Alan Rickman is incredible in it. I think it might be his best role, which is saying a lot.
He's great in everything.
He's great in everything.
He's a fantastic actor. Love him.
He's extraordinary. And in this role, he's sort of the equivalent of Spock. He's a actual actor. His first line in the film, they're all backstage getting ready for this convention, and he's just looking in the mirror, and he's like, I played Richard III. I was a real actor once. And it's this whole through line is how he hates this show, he hates this catchphrase, and then, big spoilers for Galaxy Quest, at the end of the film, the only time he says it, his, like, surrogate son of this alien species dies. And as he's cradling him in his arms, he just digs deep and delivers this corny catchphrase with, like, every bit of emotion that he has. He just, like, growls it and then goes and beats this alien to death that just shot his son. It's good. And it's very rare to go back. Unfortunately, Tim Allen has not aged as well as that movie has.
Absolutely not.
Tim Allen kind of sucks, actually.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. But Galaxy Quest was good, and I was surprised. I think it might be a perfect movie. I don't think there's any fat on that film. I think that it is lean, it is good. Everyone has an arc. All the jokes are still genuinely very funny. Even the CGI effects still look good. It's just it's good. You should go watch Galaxy Quest.
I've never watched it, and maybe I'll add it to the list. I will take. I think
I saw it whenever I was a kid, like when it came out, and I haven't revisited it since.
Strong recommend on revisiting Galaxy Quest.
All right.
So that's kind of our loose main topic for the episode. It's a podcast about movies.
Yeah, we do this now. We do MovieCast.
Hey, we do whatever we want.
That is true. We do whatever we want. When you originally were like bulletproof movies and you picked Galaxy Quest, my first thought, Good Burger, the Nickelodeon movie, because I loved that movie as a child. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't actually know if it holds up, and I don't know if it's really a bulletproof movie. It probably has several bullet holes in it, but it's just like a fun jaunt regardless, because I really liked Nickelodeon humor as a child. Instead of that movie, instead of picking that movie, I watched a movie a couple years ago, in the 1994 John Carpenter film In the Mouth of Madness. And I think that movie is very good. I think it is, if you could find bullet holes in it, you'd be like, oh, it's cheesy. And I'd be like, yeah, and it's the fucking best part. Like, I think it like embraces all of its camp in a way that is satisfying in the end, with just enough body horror and like crazy shit too at the end.
You're telling me a John Carpenter film has body horror?
I know,
no
right?
Way.
What?
It's a good one though. It's less, The Thing and more, I guess, like Lovecraft, and in a way that just kind of, I don't know. I think it's really Sam Neill that like just cinches the whole thing. He fucking rules as the main guy. I forget his name.
I was gonna say, is that the one with Sam Neill?
Yeah, it is. Very good. If you like cosmic horror kind of things, or if you just like kind of campy horror movies, you'll like it. It's a fun one, and the opening theme, like this like sweet metal song, fucking rips. This shit slays.
Dig it. I'm gonna add it to my list. I know that's been on my like somewhere in my list for a while. I tend to like John Carpenter movies. I tend to like all the things, and I also really like Sam Neill. I think he's a great actor.
Oh yeah.
But it's probably my brain that was just like steeped in Jurassic Park as a kid. And so I'm just like, will always think that Sam Neill is the coolest actor on the planet. It's like, oh, he wears the hat sometimes.
What else has he been in? He's been in a lot of shit. Damn.
He's in Event Horizon.
Page. Yeah, he is in Event Horizon. And every time I'm like, what movie is Event Horizon? I forget what it is. And I go to Google and I put Space Hell movie, and Google immediately knows what I'm talking about. It's like, did you mean Event Horizon again?
That's one where I want to believe that movie is bulletproof, and I know that it's not.
I need to see it at all, because I hear it's cool. We're not going to say bulletproof. We're going to say cool. And sometimes movies can just be like bulletproof for you, or it's just like fucking regardless of all its flaws. I like the flaws. I embrace its shortcomings, and I think it's like better off for it, or maybe not better off for it, but like I've grown to enjoy those things. Maybe Good Burger doesn't have those, but like the campy elements of In the Mouth of Madness for sure.
I'm trying to think here, which is sometimes difficult for me. So, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Paul W.S. Anderson directed Mortal Kombat, the original one, and it was such it was such a success. And then he made Event Horizon afterwards, and that was like they're like you can make basically after the success of the original Mortal Kombat film, like you can make whatever you
do
want.
What you want.
And he made Event Horizon, which I think probably bit off more than he could chew. I know that it had a very troubled production history, which kind of shows if you rewatch it. But it is a cool movie and probably is worth watching. Unlike the Monster Hunter movie, which was also directed by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh no.
And all of those Resident Evil movies.
No.
Yeah, I heard there was like a stunt double for Mila Jovovich or whatever her name is that like got really fucked up in a crash for those
turned into a zombie.
I mean, I don't know about all that, but she definitely got like really hurt, and I think they had to like maybe amputate an arm or something, and she's like trying to sue him about it. Yeah, once I read this story about it, I was like, oh, I don't really want to like see any of the Stu's movies anymore.
Yeah, like, that's fair. That's
still I'm going to see Event Horizon.
It's a good one. Like it's worth watching. But yeah, that story is fucked.
Damn, I didn't know he did AVP.
He did AVP. He said like a lot of those like kind of oddball like, oh, he did this movies.
Yeah.
And then somehow once you realize that's like, oh, that does make sense that he did that. No, that the story with that stunt woman is horrible. Because it sounds like, if I recall correctly, and I'm thinking about the right situation, that he made calls that made the stunt less safe, specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
And she ended up
like
getting...
if there's a freak accident, there's a freak accident. But if you're like, no, you got to do these things that are definitely less safe for you, it's like, all right, fuck you specifically.
Yeah.
Paul W.S. Anderson, we're calling you out. Fuck you specifically.
Paul canceled.
But also, I'm still trying to watch Event Horizon. And the 3 direct-to-video sequels to Death Race. Death Race 2, Death Race 3 Inferno, and Death Race Beyond Anarchy. I guess they invented a hierarchy. I don't know.
Okay, I'm taking this in a hard right. I'm moving us out of bad territory into good territory. So I don't know if I have a movie that's completely bulletproof, but I do have a movie that I saw last weekend that I really, really, really fucking loved. And actually, it just came out on Netflix last Friday, and I saw it the day after. The Mitchells versus the Machines just came out. You've probably been seeing a lot of ads for it, because I know I have.
Yeah, I saw ads for it.
It's very good. It's a very, very, very good movie. And to kind of like drive home, like, I didn't realize a lot of who was in it, who was working on it beforehand, but it's by the producers and some of the animation studio that worked on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, as well as the 2 Clyde the Chance Meatballs movies. The 2 writers and co-directors were writers for Gravity Falls. There's like a lot of pedigree here. There's a lot of like big names in the voice actors too. Like, there's just a lot going on. It's very good, very funny. It's definitely that kind of like, I don't want to say family comedy, but it's kind of the typical, there's a family and they're a little bit dysfunctional. The one of them's going off to college, but they hate their dad and they try and reconcile. And then the apocalypse happens. I had such a blast. Like, the jokes all really fucking landed for me. I cannot recommend it enough. It's almost 2 hours too, which I was kind of surprised. 109 minutes according to Wikipedia.com.
Wikipedia.
Which I was kind of surprised by, because usually I do not have the attention span to watch a 90-minute movie, let alone a 2-hour movie.
I feel you there.
But I mean, the jokes kept landing in a really good way. There's some really good things here that I really don't want to spoil, but I highly recommend it if you just want to kind of turn your brain off and watch something.
I frequently do.
There you go.
It happens to the best of us.
That's exciting.
There's nothing bad about turning your brain off. It's a great thing.
I don't know. I saw some people who were like, I hate when people say, if you just want to turn your brain off, this is great. No, it should always be good, whatever it is. This was specifically about the new Mortal Kombat movie, like fighting game fans being like,
I don't get how people.
The new Mortal Kombat movie is bad because there's no good lore and it's not fun. I don't care if you think it's fun; it needs to be good. I'm like,
who's going to see a Mortal Kombat movie for that? I'm going because I want to see I want to see some really dumb jokes, and I want to just see some stupid, some over the top fights. That's it.
Yeah,
I know what I'm getting in
Martin
for.
Scorsese's fucking Mortal Kombat. I'm
Werner
good.
Herzog's Mortal Kombat.
In that list of people who previous works from the Mitchells versus the Machines, you said Into the Spider-Verse. I think that might be a bulletproof movie. That's pretty fucking good, I gotta say.
Oh my god. And they kind of some of the animation style, you can tell that they definitely try to somewhat emulate that. It's real good. Oh my god, I thought I was wanted to say Mortal Kombat movie released a Jodorowsky cut. Just give me the real art film, the real art house fucking Mortal Kombat movie. That's what I want. Black and white, and there's just there's a half-hour single shot of Scorpion and Sub-Zero talking. That's
just
it.
like a steady shot or whatever, the single take, whatever.
Yeah. No one wants this.
No,
I want an art house film around Mortal Kombat.
That's just called Mortal Kombat 1, not Annihilation. Just watch
Paul
Mortal
W.
Kombat 1.
Anderson film.
Shit, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a good movie, though.
Let's be real. We got a deal.
I might put that in bulletproof. I might say that for what that movie is, I might say that movie is bulletproof.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks.
It's pretty great. And
wow.
Christopher Lambert is right.
I'm through and through a Street Fighter fan, but I will put the Mortal Kombat movie, the first one, over the Street Fighter movie. I love them both. Man, that Mortal Kombat movie is it's so perfect.
Mortal Kombat is way better than Street Fighter. The movies, not the video games. Except whenever I was a kid, I definitely would have agreed with myself with the video games. There's blood, and you can hit Y a bunch on the Super Nintendo controller, and you get a 5-hit combo. But I gotta say, the Street Fighter movie, it's good for Raul Julia.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
about it. That's about it. He's
it's just Raul Julia just acting circles around people.
He carries the entire thing.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Jimmy Blanca is no good.
Jimmy!
You mean Charlie? Charles Blanca?
Charlie Nash.
Charles Jimmy Nash.
Oh my gosh. There are little bits of that movie, though. I do love it. Again, it's one of those things where I like it for what it is. People have told me that they aren't fighting game fans. They're like, I hate that movie. That movie sucks. I'm like, no. Bison dollars.
If you approach it from hey, I'm not going to take... This isn't a serious movie. It's meant to be as just kind of dumb and entertaining as a lot of just
if you just turn your brain off.
There you go. I think
Julia didn't turn his brain off to do that movie.
I think
he
deserves. You need to learn to approach media at the level that it was made on. I don't mean to say it's a lower high quality film, but I mean it's not made to be some deeply provocative fucking think piece. It's a video game movie that's meant to just kind of be dumb and fun. And if you approach it of you know what, this is going to be something dumb and fun, and I don't have to be analyzing things, or I don't have to put too much thought into it, you can have a great time. And kind of, we kind of summed that up by saying, turn your brain off. But I think that's so true of media. Approach it on the level that it's supposed to be.
I think that's a good way to put it. You're not putting your brain on, but approaching films is what they are. It's speaking of Raul Julia, though, the Addams Family movies are
so good,
also
absolutely
incredible,
unfuckwitable. A++. Also, really, I think I've mentioned this on the pod. I think I rewatched those around Halloween, and also kind of I guess the watch project of COVID has been revisiting a lot of these films that I saw as a kid, and then either didn't quite get, maybe I might have bounced off. I didn't quite get the Addams Family when I was younger. They were too spooky and altogether kooky for me. But coming back to it as an adult, I'm like, this is a beautiful relationship between Gomez and Morticia.
They do have a beautiful relationship.
It's incredible. He loves his wife so much.
I was going to say,
he is the ultimate fucking wife guy.
But like, in a very good way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
don't know if there's a bad way to be a wife guy,
way.
but like, he's so passionately in love with his wife. He doesn't. I don't know. I don't feel like he puts Morticia on a pedestal as much as he tries to celebrate her life and existence to the fullest.
That's
like
good.
he's
He goes
so
home and
he's
fucks
so
her
overcome
every
with
single
joy.
night. in a good way.
In a good way.
I mean, in a great way. I mean, when people usually say like wife guy, they're thinking like, oh, the old ball and chain won't let me go out with the boys tonight. And instead it's like, no, my wife is my partner, my best friend, my lover, my everything. And I, like you're saying, like I celebrate the things that make her her and like how she completes me and how we have like synergy together.
Yeah.
And also mad fucking cool aesthetics.
They have
Katamia.
fits. They have the fucking fits.
It's incredible. I love the Addams Family. It's goals, really.
It really is.
I mean, relationship goals, aesthetic goals. I mean, who's among...
They own a house?
Homeowners?
There we go.
Bring it back to the start.
Homeowner
Homeownership.
Yeah.
Either one of I do want to get... If we can complete the summoning ritual and get David on the pod, I would really... Even if I don't think I'd be on it because I'm not a homeowner, but I would love to listen to our listen to Jarv and David and our other new homeowner on the team talk about house shit. I think it's like I find that really like you going out like buying a pressure washer. I'm like that's really actually riveting content for me.
Have you played with the pressure washer? I shouldn't say played. That's the wrong word.
Yeah, hold up. You gotta wear closed-toed shoes. You gotta wear fucking safety glasses to play with it.
There's so much fun.
Once you put those on, you're good. You're right. I got one of those little attachments, like a 15-inch surface cleaner. So you attach the wand to this big 15-inch in diameter circle. So that way you can just do your patio or your pavement just like way fucking faster. That was fun. I was just like, yo. I don't know what that noise was. That was me doing it, even though it sounds way fucking louder in real life.
Hell yeah. Homeownership is just like, it is the goal. And I would, whenever y'all talk about it, I'm just like, yo, owning a house is real shit.
Yeah, we bought the place, and then COVID hit America like a month later, and I have never felt more like thankful for a thing I've done in my life than find this house and buy it and move in with my wife. Because, geez, if we were still living in like a 2-bedroom apartment during COVID, no disrespect to those who were, but my personal living situation with work from home and just like general bad brain vibes, like it would have been a disaster. And being able to come home to a place where I'm like, this is mine. I can shut the door, lock it, close all the blinds, and like this is my fucking space to do whatever I want. Is the master of my own domain or whatever they say, and it feels great.
I think it must be super nice too to have that like that. I don't want to say that distraction, but like talking with Jay, who's like, hey, I have like a lot of like work to do in the house right now. Being able to have like all that you can kind of focus on at the beginning of COVID, that sounds like it would have been very nice. It's like, okay, like I don't have time to think about all this bad shit. I got to work on my house. I got to clean this stuff up. I got some projects to do.
Oh, let me be clear. The bad brains were still fucking bad, and I didn't do half the shit I wanted to do because I was just like, oh no, everything's bad. Oh no, I have to work from home for a little bit. Now I have to go back into the office, and oh no, now I have an ADHD diagnosis, and is this what's been going on with my fucking brain and problems and relationships my whole life, and blah, 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 blah. I'm finally now in the place where I'm like, fuck it, I gotta just write down everything I want to do, break down all those steps into what it takes to do all those things. Like, I want the patio in the back. What do I need to do to get the patio in the back screened in? I want to clean it before we screen it in, because you can't really clean it once it's screened in, because where's the water go? It just fucking sits there. I gotta buy the pressure washer.
Yeah.
And what do I get to do with the pressure washer? I got the
pressure
the front, the back patio, the front patio, the back porch, I almost said the dining room. Please do not use a fucking pressure washer in your dining room. The driveway, this weird little nasty shit that looks like 3 lizards died in my fucking garage floor. That part. little things like that. You just kind of have to think about like the vision that you want for your home, and then step backwards. Like, how do you get there? What are the steps that it takes to get there? How do you get to those things? So it's overwhelming, but once you just kind of break it down, it's still overwhelming, but at least you can do one step at a time.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's oh God, excuse me, I'm dying. I don't know if that burp got picked up on the microphone or not, but
I couldn't hear it.
Okay, I was looking at my Audacity file to be like,
don't worry, we'll put one in post. We'll put a huge fucking belch in post.
But yeah, I mean that's with anything else. It's what's the phrase? How do you eat an elephant? It's just one bite at a time.
That's exactly right.
One bite at a time. You know, figure out what you got to do, write everything down, say, okay, I have a clear list of exactly to accomplish things. And that's how I had to do a lot of stuff in college. Mm-hmm. Like when I was getting overwhelmed, like especially around finals time, every single year in college, I would always get sick around finals. And it took me so long for my friends to be like, no, you're not, you're just stressed out. Like you're really stressed out right now. If this happens every finals week, you're just stressed. And you could be getting stressed and maybe your immune system gets a little lowered or something, but like, you know, get your shit in order, figure out what you got to do, write everything down, chunk everything down into what it needs to be.
We here Team Yase fucking approve of chunking.
Chunk it.
Good way to learn your combos if you're playing some fucking lame-ass anime game with 20-second combos.
Hey!
That was originally what I was going to bring up, and I was like, no, this is too lame. I can't, like, I don't want to jump right there first and be like, yeah, Jarv, all this stress you were feeling, it's like video games. Like, no, I feel like that would be way too mean. But yeah.
Well, I'm glad we are both mentally got the fucking Atani mind link going.
Oh my God.
May the fourth be with you all.
Oh, fuck off.
I think you need to stop that immediately.
God, there's another Discord I was in today, and they posted a picture. They went to the Star Trek like main Discord or whatever. They just posted a thing from like the Star Trek wiki. Where it's like the Phalan system, like a star system. It's like, hey, does anyone have more info about this? Or haven't you guys heard about this? And someone's just like, no. And he just responds and just like, Phalan D's nuts. And just cue out. And then he just leaves. It's so dumb, but it's so good.
That's awful. I hate it. It's very good.
Yeah, that's a proper like reaction to that. That's awful. I hate it. I love it. It's so good. Fuck.
So we've had a good movie talk. Been kicking around an idea in the Case back room about, we don't have to decide this today, but putting the intentions out on the pod could be fun. Maybe try to do like some homework where, we announce, okay, in a month we're going to record an episode after we've all watched some anime, or it's not going to be Evangelion. It can't be Evangelion. I'm putting it out there. It's not going to be Evangelion.
No, I wanted to say Evangelion. How did you know?
Or like watch a movie or a TV show or something, and then have like a discussion episode where we just kind of jump on the pod and jam out our feelings about it.
How y'all feel about Horse Girls?
We've had 2 Horse Girls episodes now.
We can have 3.
Damn.
We could have 3. Maybe there's a 3rd season.
What if we watch the Kim Possible movie, So the Drama?
All right.
I'll get back to you on that one. I don't know if I got the streaming service for that.
Where did you get that from? Why did that come up?
I was on the Wikipedia page for Mitchell's versus the Machines, and at the bottom it's like, hey, here's the categories, and it has like Android robot films, and I was like, okay, and that was just right there at the top.
iRobot. Or the Kim Possible films.
Let's not watch iRobot.
There's one on the list here called Sex World. I need to click on this now. Oh wow. Okay.
What did you expect?
I don't know. Not this.
All right, so I have a couple ideas, and we can discuss this as a poll or something in the Ace back room. What kind of vibe are we looking for?
I think since we're starting out with one, let's not go and do like you got to watch a 26 episode anime season.
No,
Let's start with
movies.
like a movie.
I'm thinking movies.
Yeah, something that we can just like, if you really need to, jam it out in a weekend or when you got a little bit of free time. So that way we're not like feeling bad about not watching it or something. Let's set ourselves up for a win.
All right, I like that. Let's see. I mean, the first thing that jumps to my mind is the movie Redline. I think that could be fun if people haven't watched it already.
Never heard of it.
In anime territory. But let's see.
Could we use this opportunity to bully Jay into finally watching Ping Pong?
We could.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Can you bully Jay into watching Ping Pong, and can you bully Jay into coming onto the fucking YASEcast again? Because his ass is doing like home reno shit.
That's a good point. Can you get asking Jay to watch a 13-episode show and then come on a podcast while he's doing home reno? It's probably not going to happen.
It's like pulling teeth.
I got to think about this one, but I will come up with something. We can just watch VTuber clips and then talk about VTubers.
Yeah, that might happen. Who knows?
I was gonna say, if any of y'all out there have suggestions for things that you think we might enjoy, hit us up. Hit us up in the Discord. I was actually thinking about opening up a YASEcast Gmail account.
I like
We
that.
have one of those technically.
Do we?
Yeah. YASEworld@gmail.com. Send in your questions. Gaming@vice.com. No, just
What was it? YASEworld@gmail.com?
Yep. YASEworld@gmail.com.
Hella. We'll put that in the show notes too. That way it's easy to find. Easier to find.
Send us your bizarre food opinions about what things are sandwiches and how you prepare your ice cream.
Send us any questions you got. Any questions, or it's like I have a hot take I need to get off my chest. As long as it's not like I killed a man, like you should be fine.
Or like hot take, look at my dick.
Don't tell us about people unless it's like, yo, here's a link of me bodying someone in a set at like
we do want to see that.
Yeah,
we
I
do
want to see that.
We want to gas people up.
Yeah, always, 100% of the time.
Here's me hitting with a fucking EX Tiger Knee cross up on Wake Up. And it was
that shit is
great.
hot though. That is genuinely very hot.
That is very hot. I saw some clip of Ryan Hart doing that from like 2011 or like 2010 or something.
Where Sagat could, it's like SF4, you could do EX, Tiger Knee, it would cross up and he could combo into Ultra.
That's exactly what he did.
So fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
Man, Sagat was cool.
Sagat was real fucking cool.
Ryan Hart, I feel like, I don't want to say he's an underrated player, but I feel like you don't see him as much anymore, and people kind of forgot like how sick Ryan Hart is at games.
Yeah.
Like every game he touches. Yeah.
I like every
He recently just had like
plays.
a gaming anniversary or something. He's like the longest running fighting game tournament player or something. That's why I saw this clip. It was just like Ryan Hart Day or something. I don't know, because he'd been playing since, some sort of Street Fighter 2, and he kind of really hasn't stopped. And played in a bunch of shit. So this is now the fucking Ryan Hart fan cast.
All right, this is our Waypoint / Ryan Hart fan cast.
There we go.
Gaming
has,
at
oh my God.
RyanHart.com.
Do y'all remember it was for like some Tekken thing like a while ago, and there's like a little bit of like playful like shit talk between him and Rip, and I think the line Ryan Hart went with is, "I've forgotten more about fighting games than you will ever know," which is all time, all fucking time.
Like, you can't say anything to that because it's true.
No.
It's just true.
Yep. All you can really do is like get up and walk away.
Yeah, which he did. He's like, I'm done. Like, you cannot come back from this.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should probably end it here, or else we're
Yeah.
gonna just keep talking about how cool Ryan Hart is.
Yeah.
YASEworld@gmail.com. Send us literally fucking anything besides pictures of your body parts. At YASEworld on Twitter. Hit us up there. We post fun comics that Nick scheduled.
Yes. I forgot I scheduled them. That was a fun surprise for me this morning. I was like, oh yeah, I did this. Thanks, scheduled tweets.
I posted up on there another Yase game night for the Discord. Yase.world if you want to join the Discord. By the time you hear this, that game night will already be over. We'll have to put one up for next week. So that way when you hear this, you'll be like, shit, yeah.
Like,
it'll probably be on a
let's
Thursday because we do that.
That's the way it is. All right. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for being on. It's both Jarv and Morgan. Where can people find you at, Morgan?
You can find me on Twitter at Morganization13. You can find my my content creation persona, virtual tuber at Ricky_Hirsch_ or Twitch at just Ricky Hirsch.
Jarv, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at JarvDog, DAWG. If you go on YouTube and search Yase Music, it's not any of us, but it's just some random, like...
I love it.
Some random white girl rapping that I think a crime fighter found, and it was... We just infiltrated the comments being like, y'all ain't shit anyways, and someone was like...
Can we talk about that response? Like, real quick, just
Yes.
as a closing thing out.
We got to look this thing up, because I forget exactly what it said.
I want to say
what did you all do?
Oh my god.
It was great.
Oh.
So, Yase Music. Also, if you search Yase Music, you also get Lil Yase. What? The official Yase page?
What?
No, that's Yase.world.
Who
folks,
the fuck?
Audience, listening at home, we are getting our minds blown at how many people are using our name. We've been in the cut with the Yase name for years now, and we got Lil Yase and Yada from 4 years ago. We've been doing this shit longer than 4 years, right?
Gotta be.
Right?
Not this podcast, but like...
No, not this podcast, no. Yo, Yase cross Yada.
I found the quote. So to I don't remember if you mentioned this, Jarv, but this is for a musician that, like, I don't believe English is their first language. I want to guess it's somewhere in Europe. The comment that someone replied to Crime Fighter saying, y'all ain't shit anyway, they said, know your way, human-looking creature. Which is just... it's so good.
Fucking raw.
It's so good. Calling someone a human-looking creature.
It sounds like a fucking Samurai Showdown win quote.
Where were you the night that Crime Fighter got destroyed? Where were you? Oh, all right. And lastly, you can find me, Nick, on Twitter at lamo_SD. Thank y'all once again for joining us. This was episode number 47. And do not forget, don't cost shit to be nice. With that, we'll be back at you again next week. Take it easy. Until then.